So a blood raven, eh? You lot only show up when there's something shiny to borrow. What is it this time? Planning to acquire that relic blade the chaplain lost? Or maybe my bolt pistols caught your eye?
Bold words from someone who spends most of their time skulking in the shadows like a grot looking for scraps. What's wrong, Korvus? Too afraid to fight in the light like a proper Astartes? Or is it just hard to see your enemies when you've been staring at your reflection, trying to figure out how much more brooding you can look?
Brooding's something you wouldn't understand, Jarkas. It's called strategy. We strike from the shadows, not out of some need for theatrics. Unlike your chapter. How's it feel, by the way, being the only chapter with an entire library dedicated to mysteriously acquired artifacts? Should I even ask where your armor came from?
Oh, this? Just a standard issue gift from the Mechanicus. Probably worth more than all the relics your chapter has left in those caves you call fortresses. Or are you still scavenging from the Horus Heresy, hoping to stumble upon another of your Primarch's toenail clippings?
At least we don't have to rummage through the battlefield afterward to arm ourselves. I hear the Blood Ravens have a whole ritual for reclaiming fallen weapons. Tell me, do you even ask the tech priest before you swipe their gear? Or do you just pretend it's yours by right of conquest? Seems fitting that your chapter motto should be Finders Keepers.
First of all, that's Recoverers Keepers, thank you. And second, it's not our fault that we're blessed with the ability to identify the value of lost relics. Unlike the Raven Guard, we don't have the luxury of running away from our battles to hide somewhere in the shadows. I hear your lot goes so quiet in battle that even your bolters make less noise. Not that you use them, of course. Who needs a bolter when you can just brood the enemy to death?
Yes. Brooding is effective. We wait, strike precisely, win the battle before it even begins. You, on the other hand, seem to win by accident most of the time. Ever wonder why so many of your relics end up in your hands and not in Imperial hands? Could it be because the Blood Ravens conveniently forget to return them?
You know, speaking of forgetting things, it's funny. I heard your Primarch barely remembers what he's doing half the time. Guess you take after him, huh? Silent, brooding, and constantly wandering off into some corner of the galaxy to, what, exactly? Daydream about better days?
At least Korax fought at Istvan. Unlike your mysterious Primarch, who hasn't shown his face in millennia. What was his name again? Oh wait, no one knows. Maybe he's just a myth, like most of the relics you keep finding. What's next? Are you going to claim the Emperor's throne was actually a Blood Raven artifact all along?
That'd be a neat trick, wouldn't it? But I'm not sure your chapter could handle that level of importance. You lot are too busy sulking in the shadows, trying to blend in with the rocks. What is it with Raven Guard and always trying to be edgy? It's like you're all just waiting for someone to ask, "What's wrong, brother?"
We don't need to be asked. The shadows speak for us, and when they do, enemies vanish. Unlike your chapter, which only seems to appear when it's time to file a requisition request. How do you even train? Do you just pick a random planet, wait for some traitor legion to die, and then appropriate their gear for chapter purposes?
Oh yes, the famous Raven Guard Vanishing Act, which is exactly what you'll be doing after this conversation, right? Fade into the void, leaving nothing behind but a vague sense of unease and a heavy sigh? I imagine even your chapter masters can't tell the difference between you and your shadows half the time.
Better a shadow than a scavenger, Jarkas. At least we Raven Guard know what it means to fight in the Emperor's name, not just to collect for him.
Hey, someone's got to take care of the relics. And if we happen to find a few new ones along the way, well, that's just good fortune. Maybe one day, Korvus, we'll find something of yours too. Don't worry, we'll keep it safe. In our vault.